Thank you. Thank you. So again, my name is Janelle Wiebelhaus-Finger. I'm currently the project manager with Blue Zones Project, and I wanted to just share a little bit about what Blue Zones Project is, and then more importantly, what that means for you here at Apache as an employee as they seek to become a Blue Zones approved worksite. How many people here have heard of Blue Zones Project before? Good. So I'm going to kind of give a little background, a very brief background. So if you haven't heard of it, and hopefully this will pique your interest and you look into it more, but I wanted to give a little background, a little set base. So Blue Zones Project was actually brought here to Dodge County thanks to a sponsorship by Beaver Dam Community Hospital. What that means is Beaver Dam Community Hospital is paid for this project, so any resources we offer to work sites, to schools, faith-based organizations, restaurants, and grocery stores are offered at no cost to that place. So Apache is not paying anything to earn this recognition or to implement these projects to Blue Zones Project. So that's all made possible by Beaver Dam Community Hospital. Why did Beaver Dam Community Hospital think it was important to bring Blue Zones Project to Dodge County? Well, we know that Americans are not becoming any healthier. 69% of Americans can be classified as overweight or obese. Our environment really encourages us to make unhealthy choices rather than healthy choices. And loneliness and social isolation are high risk factors for increased mortality. Specifically in Dodge County, according to a 2013 health risk assessment, the top 5 contributions to unhealthy behaviors in Dodge County specifically are binge drinking, tobacco use, depression, obesity, and lack of access to nutritious food. They found that 56% of deaths in Dodge County can be attributed to factors that are related to diet and chronic diseases such as cancer, heart disease, type 2 diabetes, and obesity. Why do we talk about this? Well, a lot of people like to say it's their genes that cause these problems, but really our genes only make up about 20% of our health and longevity. The Framingham study established that 80% is in our control. 80% is based on the choices you make and the environment you live in, and that's what we can impact through Blue Zones Project. We began with some studies done by a man named Dan Buettner in National Geographic magazine, where they traveled the world to find people and places where people were living longer. They used the benchmark of people living to the age 100. But age 100 in these areas that they found doesn't look a lot like age 100 in most of the people in the United States. I talk to people and they say, I don't want to live to age 100, because they think about their 70, 80, 90-year-old friends, family, and it's not a very healthy 100. In the Blue Zones, they discovered people like this. This is Ellsworth Wareham. He's in his mid-90s in this picture. He lives in Loma Linda, California, one of the original 5 Blue Zones. Demographically firm locations where people are living longer, healthier, happier lives. Ellsworth, 96, wanted to build a privacy fence. Well, he talked to some contractors and found out how much it would cost him, and they quoted him about $6,000. And he said, for that price, I'll build it myself. So at 96, he started digging fence post holes and pouring the concrete, pounding in the fence post, building his own privacy fence. And 3 days later, this was Ellsworth Wareham. But Ellsworth isn't on the operating room table. He's one of the surgeons. In his mid-90s, he continued to practice open heart surgery several times a month. He was one of the pioneers in open heart surgery, and he continued to do that well into his 90s. The original Blue Zones are shown on this map. Again, there were 5 locations, demographically confirmed locations. You can see they're across the world. So they didn't have a common diet. They didn't have a common terrain that they lived in. There was a variety. But what they did have in common is what we call the Power 9 pyramid. These are the lifestyle factors that were common across all of the Blue Zones. The first one on top is moving naturally. People living in the Blue Zones move naturally. They move naturally every day throughout the day. They didn't sit at a desk for 8 hours and then try to make up for it with 2 hours at the gym on the weekend. Their environment just nudged them to move a little bit all the time. The second piece in the green, they knew their purpose. They knew why they got up every morning. And it continued from the day they were born to the day they died. And it was something that continued. It wasn't just their job. It was something that just got them up every morning. So in America, 2 most dangerous years of your life, year you're born, year you retire. Oftentimes people tie their purpose to their work. In the Blue Zones, they don't even have a word for retirement. They have a purpose throughout their lives. Downshift, taking time to de-stress. We know that chronic stress leads to chronic inflammation, leads to chronic disease. So taking that time to de-stress is important to health and longevity. The third piece is eating. Not like we usually think about our fad diets here in the United States. Eating until you're 80% full. It's something that came from Okinawa, Japan, one of the original Blue Zones. Think about your food while you're eating it. Think about how you're feeling. Eat very mindfully. Eat until you're 80% full. This means that you can't be watching TV and shoveling food into your mouth or checking Facebook or Instagram. Eating plant slant. Now, they weren't vegetarians in Blue Zones. Most of the Blue Zones did eat meat. They just ate less of it and less processed meat than we usually do. Adding more plants into your diet can improve your health and longevity. And then you'll see the wine glass. That's for wine at 5. Many of the Blue Zones did enjoy a glass of wine every day, preferably red. But what was more important is that they enjoyed it socially with friends or family. So we say wine at 5 or friends at 5, depending if you enjoy alcohol and if you have a healthy relationship. The basis of the entire Power 9 pyramid, though, is connection. Again, that loneliness, that isolation. Having family that you surround yourself with improves your longevity. Belonging to a faith-based community, no matter what the denomination, again provides social connections that are just natural. And then surrounding yourself with your right tribe, people that will encourage you in your lifestyle choices. People that you surround yourself with, if they make healthy lifestyle choices, they're more likely that you'll make healthy lifestyle choices. The other thing Dan Buettner noticed as he traveled to these Blue Zones, not only did they engage in those Power 9 principles, but their environment set them up to do so. We call your life radius the 5 miles from where you live and where you work. This is where you spend most of your time. So think about how much time you spend at work. When you're not at work, most of your time is probably spent within 5 miles of where you live. If we can impact your life radius, if we can make healthy choices easier in the places where you live, work, and play, it's going to naturally be easier to engage in those Power 9 principles, the things we know help you to live longer, happier, healthy lives. So that's what Blue Zones Project does. We work in the community to make it healthy choices easier. We help you to move more, to discover your purpose, eat better, and to make new friends. Apache's already doing a lot of things to do this work and to lead the way to well-being. There's flexible workstations for many of the employees. There's a worksite wellness program that includes preventative care, biometric screenings, casual dress, smoking cessation, and a CSA program. So hopefully you know about these things, and there's many other things that Apache's already doing. There's employee social activities. Again, that social isolation is very detrimental to your health. It's also not good for employee productivity. If you're engaged in your work site, you're more productive and better for the company and happier employees as well. They're starting some new things with Blue Zones Project, so they have a slogan contest coming up. We know that when you walk into a store with a big orange check mark, you're going to end up with some athletic apparel. You know that if you find a purse with 2 C's attached together, you have a designer purse. Apache needs their little branding for their wellness program, so they're going to have a little incentive. Whoever wins will earn an Apple Watch, and there'll be more information coming out about this. So think about what you want your wellness program brand and slogan to be so that everybody will know when these wellness programs start to happen and more of them come up, you know exactly what's happening here at Apache. We offer purpose workshops, so these are opportunities for people to come and discover what their gifts are. They're a 2-hour workshop. They're really meant for you to think about what your gifts are and how can you share them with others, whether it be here at work or in your volunteer or home life. Most people, I've done a number of these, people come thinking 2 hours is a long time, this is going to be really boring. They leave saying, where'd the 2 hours go? What? I'm not done, I want more, I want more. At other work sites, we've done cooking demos or cooking classes where we can come in and show you some healthy treats you can make. We've had wellness fairs and healthy vending has been added. So these are some things that Apache might be working towards. And if there's something that you think you'd like to participate in, let your team and your leadership know that this is something you'd be interested in. Blue Zones Project is in 48 communities across 11 states. Dodge County is the only one in Wisconsin. Again, thanks to Beaver Dam Community Hospital. And now it's your turn to take a personal pledge. So I handed out at the beginning this Blue Zones personal checklist. Thinking back to that Power 9 pyramid, on this side, the Blue Zones personal checklist side, these are simple ways you can start to incorporate these Power 9 principles into your own life. So I want you to read through these really quickly and just check off things you're either already doing or things you want to do in the next 6 months to improve your well-being and incorporate more of these Power 9 principles into your life. As you read through, I want you to think about what are some that jump out at you. I heard somebody mention before stocking your cabinets with 10-inch dinner plates. Anybody know how big most dinner plates are these days? Most dinner plates are about 12 inches. And if you look at, if anybody has their grandma's or their mother's old dinnerware, it's much smaller. So our dinner plates have gotten larger and larger. Simple nudges. How many people here own a dog? Does that dog make you move a little bit more?
Oh, yeah.
So simple things, again, if you have the capacity to own a dog, or if you want one, it'll help you move a little bit more. Keeping your bike in plain sight, or comfortable walking shoes in plain sight. Simple things that are going to nudge you to make the healthier choice. So as you go through and check things off, down at the bottom is a pledge you can sign. What I would need on this pledge is your first name, last name, and zip code. This is a personal pledge to yourself. No one's going to check up on you, but we know that putting pen to paper increases the likelihood you're going to follow through. The second thing that this does by filling this out, it shows that you support Apache in becoming a Blue Zones approved worksite, that you want to engage in healthier behaviors at your worksite. So again, your name, your zip code, and then your employer as Apache. If you'd like to fill in faith-based organization, you can do that as well. And then if you do want emails from us, you get about 1 email a week from Blue Zones that has tips, recipes, information on better well-being, and then 1 a month from Blue Zones Project that has very local events, upcoming events, ways to engage with Blue Zones Project. So that's optional. If you don't want to provide your email, you don't have to, but we do need your name, zip code, and employer to count your pledge towards Apache's goal of having 25% of their employees engaged through the Blue Zones Personal Pledge.